So can you hear me, Josephine?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we say officially welcome out there, and what I tend to do very quickly is there's a welcome screen there, and I'll just quickly go through a bit of a rundown of how to get the most out of the webinar and so on. So hopefully the next parts come up there, and we typically run through and tell people just watch, listen and take notes, or you can follow through with your particular computer. You can follow through the PDF workbook that they all get. They can send me questions as well during the whole session, and you can see a screenshot there now, hopefully. So that that's a screenshot to show them that on the right-hand side of the system, of the screen, there's a little panel where they can enter questions and type in questions and so on. So if they haven't got, or if we've said don't use a microphone, anybody can type in a question, and I see those come in listed. Okay. So you might give that a go there. Just if you can see the panel on the far right, just put in a message there and say yes, hi Mark or whatever, and I'll see it come through. Okay. Later on we say, okay, after the session they can watch the recording of this. They can send us questions via the email or help desk. As I said, the two big things they can do is, number one, just watch and have a listen and take some notes down or follow the PDF workbook, or number two, they can have their they can follow through on their particular laptop. Okay. Okay, so we go through a very quick PowerPoint thing about what we're going to cover in the session. The summary, this example is on Excel macros, for example, and what is a macro? We're going to cover how we look at changing macro security. We're going to cover a simple example of a macro, how to assign a keyboard shortcut. So we run through a very quick summary of what we're going to do in the particular session, so people know what's going on, and so on, and then obviously their questions they can bring through as well. Okay. All right, so then what we do is we just obviously go into Excel. I'll just switch over to our Excel screen, and typical Excel screen. So what we do is we run through the particular process. We say, right, people, we're covering exercise 1, which is on page whatever in your PDF workbook. Just have a quick look, and what I'm going to do is to run a macro to we'll show you how to use a macro to analyze data in this particular case. As you can see here, we can right-click and go Format Cells. So obviously I do little steps in the session. They can see the screen on there, or the demonstration of the screen on their particular computer. Cancel this and cancel that. Okay, and what I've got is a bit of a set of raw data here, and a typical thing that people want to do is to be able to analyze this raw data. We can just go down the bottom there, and you can see the raw data down the bottom. Okay, and one of the sessions we run is how to create a button here, for example, on the right. This is already finished and completed. So it's got a button here, and we show people how to create these sorts of buttons, because when I go click inside the data anyway, or anywhere, I can click a button here that says Format Your Data, monthly cash flow. Click that, and bang, straight away it comes up with, in the blink of an eye hopefully, it comes up with the report there, and it gives me the chart, the graph. There's the summary at the top left hand corner here as well. Okay, if I go back to the raw data, okay, I can say, right, advertising, for example, click there, we can change the figures to something ridiculous, and there's car expenses, and we type in new figures, new data comes in next week, for example. Okay, and down here, August, we just change some figures down here, advertising. All right, and when I run the report again, it comes up with a brand new version of that report, and that just runs through very quickly. So we show people how to, in these online sessions, how to create this sort of report and automate the process. Okay, but what we can do in the actual sessions that we run for you, if it all goes ahead and they're all happy, is I'll just type this in. We can use specific examples, okay, of the spreadsheets your personnel use. Okay, and this will make the online training more relevant and more practical. Okay, So if the training, if it all goes ahead, people are happy with proceeding with all this, then I would get some dummy samples or some sample actual files that they use on a day-to-day basis, and we can use those actual examples in the training and show them how to create macros and show them how to do formatting and reporting and all the rest of it. Okay. All right, so once we've done all that, we say, you know, throughout the whole session, I'll say, how's everybody going? Okay, how's everybody going? Not that I type it up all the time, but any questions out there? So I'll say that as well. Okay, Mark, can you go through that again, or whatever it might be? Okay. Then at the end of the session, we just quickly go through a bit of a summary. Okay, we might run through a theory of the Excel, what is a macro, and just do a bit of a theory-based thing, either as an introduction or as a summary at the end of the session. Okay, so this is a specific example, obviously, for macros, so I won't be going through that now with you at the moment, but as a review, plan your macro and do all this and all that. So we always do a bit of a summary at the end, and all that's being recorded as well as we go. Test, test, test at the end there, very important. Okay, then we run through what they get. So at the end of each session, or we could customize all this too as well. Thanks for your attendance, we say, and there's an online survey. There's not at the moment for this particular example, but they do get to fill in an online feedback sheet or form online, and that gives us a report of what they thought, the effectiveness of the training, what they want to get out of it, and so on, okay, to make it even better for next time. And that report will be available to yourself as a coordinator. And the attendees get emailed links for the recording. They get the actual sample files if they want to practice with the actual steps in the PDF workbook, or we would use yours as examples. They get access to our help desk and knowledge base as well. And we've obviously got other online webinars as public webinars as well, but in this case you're looking at a closed session. So yeah, we can have things set up that are more specific for your personnel. Okay, and normally we say, look, I'll be here for a few minutes. We don't have to finish right on 10 a.m. or whatever the finish time is. It doesn't sort of clock off automatically. But I, as a facilitator, can be around for a few more minutes if people want some more questions to be answered or whatever it might be. Yeah, so the PDF workbook, they'll get the PDF workbook well beforehand, either via email or as a download link off a Dropbox folder, whatever it might be. So each person, each attendee will get a copy of the PDF workbook. But all information, all the details about how to log on, if you like, or how to connect to the online session, that all comes out automatically. They get reminders automatically about attending, so we can set it up so they get a reminder a week beforehand, or a day beforehand, or an hour. So depending on how you think they should be reminded, we can set that up automatically. We can bulk register lots of people, so they don't need to go through the registration process to book to get onto the session itself. And yeah, a lot of the whole sort of processing and administration side of it is all automatic.